seems to age. Yeah, he's doing something. All right, so Michael Hearn, give it up.
What is happening, guys? All right. Hey, so one thing I want to do is I know that we're running behind. I'd love questions. So I want to try to talk to you a little bit about a couple things. And that is the opposite sides of the studies. So what's the best thing? Lightweight or heavyweight? What's the best thing? No carbs, carbs. Right? What's HIIT cardio, steady state cardio? What's better? So what I do is I approach everything. You got your study, and then you analyze life. And this comes down to life. I don't know how long you want to do this, but the one thing I wanted to do is I didn't want to be a champion for a day, I want to be a champion for a lifetime. That was it for me. If I couldn't beat him at the start when I started, I was going to beat him at the end. And that's just the approach that I have. And in this industry, I was the last guy from the early 80s that's still standing. Through the 80s and the 90s, all those guys are done, and I'm still going and enjoying this. And that is what I want to talk to you guys about. I know you guys want to go compete and destroy the competition today. There's another side to this. And the other side is to approach everything with what your goal is, and then decide if that's what you want to do. And then you're going to decide, is that going to be what you're going to do in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Okay, do you guys understand that concept? I'll take HIIT cardio, steady state cardio. What's better? You guys are so quiet. Come on now. Come on. You guys are here. What's better? What do you guys do? Steady state cardio. Why? Okay, all right, so maybe you have time, you can do steady state. A lot of people, don't have the time, so they want to hit cardio. However, why don't we just remove that? Because the studies are the studies are. They are what they are. Analyze it this way. If you're training, and you're training like a beast, right? And then you got enough energy to get into a second game. Everybody wrestle or do any kind of sports where you give everything you got. You're telling me you can get right back in there and give another all you got? So I analyze the point of the weightlifting is number one. Let's skip the cardio. Skip it completely. Weightlifting is number one because the reasons are bone density, connective tissue, right? Yes, you're going to get strong. That's a side effect of working out. You'll build muscle. That's a side effect of working out and eating right. But the concept is, the gym is about doing the least amount of work possible and still get better. I never beat anybody because I worked out harder than them. Never. Those guys that are stronger than me, worked out harder than I did. The only reason I've been able to beat everybody is because I kept doing it every day. Every single day. Back in, do it. Back in, do it. Why didn't my body shut down? Why didn't I get injured? Why didn't things happen? Okay, there's a second approach. And you'll know this. Football. You guys are football fans? Is there an off season? Yeah, there's an off season, guys. I got news for you. Most of my training partners are NFL players. There's an off season where they let the body recover. They let the bumps and bruises recover. They tone it down a bit. And that's not what happens with society when it comes to weightlifting. Every workout, 7 days a week, heck, 8 days a week, 2-a-days, and you gotta go 100% every single time. You're setting yourself up to fail, okay? If you're in athletics, meaning that you're making a living doing sports, that's a different world. Now you're gonna have to train hard, but you're still gonna move up and down the ladder. You're gonna train harder, and then you're gonna come back down. With weightlifting, everybody goes in and goes, I need the baddest workout ever. I need to get in there and crawl out. understand everything you do, nutrition-wise, cardiovascular, and training. You're setting your body up to understand that that's how you need to maintain. Does that make sense to you? Why is that bad? All right, what he said was this: if you start off and you're up here, where do you go next? Above it? You can't go above it. Dude, you're in there for 3 hours training like a beast, legs killed. Then you went over and jumped on cardio, and you're fasting on top of that, so you're not even eating calories. Then you're getting 5 hours of sleep because you gotta hustle. Gotta hustle. There's a difference between being busy and being productive. Okay, this world is becoming so busy and not productive. The reason why I've been able to last is because I have to understand that my body needs to adapt to what I'm teaching it. Will I go hard for a show? Will I get hard and crazy for whatever it is, a movie, a guest posing, powerlifting, whatever it is, 100% I'll go off. And then what I'll do is I'll back it down from 6 days a week to 3 days a week. 3 days a week. Does anybody really want to train 3 days a week? No, you guys love it too much, right? What do you love more? Being able to do this, live healthy, less injuries, or do you just feel like mentally you just got to keep pounding it? So that's the one thing I want to talk to you guys today. All day we're going to talk about the fact of stop pounding your head against the wall. Be patient with the process. You guys understand this. What happens after New Year's? Everybody comes into the gym, right? They come in and they get off and they go, man, I'm fired up. I got my espresso, my pre-workout, some fat burners, and I don't know what else. Jump on cardio and start running. Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. If you just walked, you're doing more work than you did last year. Just by walking. 3 miles an hour. That is the pinnacle of what I'm talking about. You come in and you're going 100 miles an hour, you got to keep 100 miles an hour. There's a reason why you trained a certain way. There's a reason why you want to do what you do. You don't do shoulder press first if you got great shoulders of the week. If you got weak legs, unless you bring up your weak body parts or the connective tissue, the bone density, all those kind of things, unless you bring up the weakness, your strength gets stronger and your weakness get weaker. You guys understand that, right? You only have so much energy in a week's workout. There's no reason. Bench is not Monday. Everybody's, what is it, National Bench Day or whatever, right? I think pretty much everybody here can bench. I think a lot of guys here, especially us guys, already have some good chest. Now, Monday's not chest day. It's the day that you pick because it's the worst body part you have and you have the most energy for that day. That's the day. You got lame arms because you got a barrel chest and big shoulders. Start with arms. Wait a minute, why start with a small body part? Because for you, that's your weakness. And unless you tackle your weaknesses, your strengths will pull away and it gets only worse and worse over time. So people ask me, why am I injury free? And why I've been able to do this now for 42 years. I've been lifting. I've been on stage since I was 13 and I'm 172 years old now. So if it gives you any idea, there has to be a ladder and it has to start slow. Okay, it's like any kind of business, any kind of things that you're doing, it starts slow and it picks up speed. So when you analyze things like nutrition, okay, nutrition's a big thing, right? Well, what should you do? Get rid of the carbohydrates. Okay, all right, I'm fine with studying. I test everything on myself and then I apply it to the millions around the world that I work with. Test everything, 100%. Try it out. Give it a period of time, but stay true to it. Don't say I'm keto and then you do it for 2 weeks and you're like, I'm done with it. Actually, give it a fair shot. You know, a zone diet, a carbohydrate diet, a fat diet, whatever you want to do, give it a fair shot, test it on you, because you could be the individual that's different. But I will say this, a lot of you are youngsters. Please don't run away from food. And also, don't change how your body mechanics work. The reason I'm here today is I can eat carbs. I never changed it to a point where my body could not utilize carbs because I would only stay with protein. You guys understand correctly? You do, right? That if you eat something more like protein and have your body try to figure out to use that as energy, when you absorb carbohydrates again, what happens? Anybody know? You blow up. And one of the biggest things is you guys look at these bodybuilders and you go, oh, these bodybuilders are in great shape. Visually they're in great shape. The inside isn't. Shiny car, dirty engine. And that's what society's becoming to now. It's oh, you look incredible. Let's not worry about the inside. What do you mean not worry about the inside? The inside's the only thing, and if you build from the inside out, it changes the outside. Is it slower? Yeah. Can you keep it? Yeah. Do you understand that? When you rush anything, you cannot keep it. Unless you're Yahoo. All right? Amazon. That's the stuff you can keep. But when you go to weightlifting, there has to be an off season. There has to be something that comes back. You've got to be able to come back, and as hard as it is mentally, and I know you guys are savages and you girls are barbarians, you know, you got to drop back and restart every time. Now what I do, here's the hard thing. It's a hard thing, it's an easy thing to say it, it's a hard thing to do. But what I find is this. I test myself and say, how little of work can I do just to maintain my body? Okay, do you understand that concept? Can I go away from squats, leg press, leg extensions, leg curls, walking lunges, jumping off a building, climbing hills? Can I go away from all that kind of stuff, but to keep my leg size and development? And you back it down. All right, you don't do leg extensions. All right, for a couple weeks. Then you take out leg press. Then you're just squatting. Your workout's just squats. Yes, you go as hard as you can, but you back it down. Now what happens when I restart and reintroduce? Right here? Talk to me. What happens? Exactly. So he said, basically what happens is when you back down and you give your body less work, it's recovery. All right? And then when you go back into it and apply more things, it's like you working out for the first time. Holy cow, I got this good right up to the line. Now I'm gonna just try to maintain. Maybe I'll drop back a little bit. I'm not gonna look just as good, but I'm gonna drop here. Now you go back into it again. Now I'm stepping over. Now you're better than before. See, that's how I grew up. I grew up with 5 older brothers and 5 older sisters that all competed. All right? So I lived this hands-on. And the one thing that I saw was, and drugs aren't in that world, what I saw was these guys jumped ahead of me. They're older, but I'm gonna try to stay with them. And they would jump, and they would get so good. And they would compete, and they'd win their shows, and I'd be just seeing the size, and they were so much stronger. And I stayed consistent on understanding take time off. In a sense, bring the weight training back, keep your calories high, and they just went 100%. Then the body shuts down, nothing happens, they quit lifting, I move forward a little bit more. Then they start back up, they jump ahead again. But I'm creeping in every single time. I'm a little turtle, you know? Just a little turtle, just moving just a little bit. I know they run away, but they fall back. When you see this, you guys go to gyms. When you see that guy that 6 months ago was freaky, and then you go back in and he looks like nothing. Whoa, what happened? If you build correctly in a slow way, that all gets to keep. And so somebody asked me, why did I decide to compete in both federations? Why did I decide to get tested and do also against the drug guys and go kids? It's because I felt if I'm going to put that much work in, and I saw it from a young age, I saw how freaky they could look for a day, and then 2 weeks later they were gone. 2 weeks later it wasn't there. Does that make sense to you guys? I saw that as a kid, so understand mentally, I'm going, why am I going to do this? And again, that's young, 11, 12, 13 years old, I'm seeing this. I'm like, honest to myself, why would you do that much work and not be able to keep it? And that's the reason of trying to rush something. You go on a carb-free diet, you drop 50 pounds. How fast does that come back? I mean, you guys have known this. We've all yo-yoed a little bit, right? So the point here is this. When it comes to HIIT cardio or steady state cardio, they're both great. And they're both fine. And they're both good things to have. And you can implement them during the workout. And at both times, do one that's easier. And then at a certain point, go to the harder one. Try it out. And then do this. Stop. Cardio is secondary work. Cardio is not number one. You do not wake up fasted and do cardio 365. Somebody did this getting ready for a show one day, and then suddenly he told somebody he lost weight and got in shape, and then the next person, and the next person, and now society thinks you're supposed to get up, not eat, all right? Get on cardio and traumatize your body, and that's the best way to live. And now you just did 365 days. Your body is used to that. Does that make sense? It gets used to it. The body is an amazing thing, and it will try to keep you alive. And it will try to keep you alive by keeping fat on your body around your organs. So as much as you starve it, it's going to try to protect itself and it's going to shut the body down. And now what you just did is you lowered your calories down to 2,000. You start off the morning not eating, so the metabolism is freaked out. What happens the first thing when you wake up? What happens when you wake up in the morning? Where's your body at? What's it need? It needs calories. Why does it need calories? Because we live. We need food. So now think of this. All night you just slept. It doesn't use calories, right? When you sleep, no, you don't want to have carbohydrates, you don't want to have protein or fats, because when you sleep, it just sits there. Guys, trust me, your body's an amazing thing. It is an amazing thing. It utilizes the calories that you have in your body when you sleep so you can recover. I don't care how badass you are, if you don't recover, you can't grow, you can't get better. Actually, you're traumatizing your body. So I've been doing appearances since 1987, meeting fans around the world. So the number one thing that's said to me is, I'm a savage, I can train, I got no problem training. What do you think they say the problem is? I have never in 32 years of going to expos and traveling the world, had one person come up to me and say, I rock my diet, but I don't train. Not one. This whole thing, the whole health and fitness is nutrition. Now weightlifting, light or heavy, there's side effects, both are great things, but when it comes to the health and fitness world, it's about nutrition and trying to keep the calories as high as you possibly can, as long as you possibly can. If you're always in a surplus compared to a deficit, what's happening to the body? I'm going back to my man, you got all this stuff already, man. We rehearsed this. Come on now. Your body needs food to recover. And the more and more you teach it to run away from food, it's going to get used to that. And you guys are puppies right now next to me. And here's the one thing. If you're already at 25 or 30 years old and you're already at like 2,000 calories, in 5 years you're at 1,500 calories, then you hit 40 and you go, you know what, I'm going to be at 1,000 calories. Your body slows. That's life. What you want to do is just like weightlifting. You guys go up a little bit more. You train a little heavier. For you girls as well. Everybody trains a little bit heavier because that's bone density, connective tissue, tearing the muscles. You want to do that. And you women too. Everybody, I see you two back there. Don't fight because of me now. She's going heavy from now on. But the point is the calories got to be used the same way. Push it. And then test it on yourself. And that's when you start adding in more work. All right, 3,200 calories. I can maintain with that. That's great. Now what I'm going to do for 2 weeks, I'm going to go up to 3,400 calories. It's not much, it's 200 calories. Am I spilling over? Am I dropping back? Am I holding water? Give your body time to get used to that, but keep changing it. Use nutrition the same way you use weight training. Diet down, come back up. But do not do this. Do not diet down and then try to maintain, because we don't maintain in life. Sorry, unless you're getting better, you're getting worse. There's no maintaining. We age. That's it. So unless you're trying to get better, if you're 21, you're 30, you're 50, you're 60, you need to try to get better. And the best you can do at that point, if you're just doing it moderate, is you'll hang still. Okay. When it comes to weightlifting, what's better? High reps, low reps? All of it's good. What's better? Heavyweight or lightweight? Use as much as you can for the rep range you're doing. We'll do 50 reps for a set. We'll use as heavy weight as we possibly can. The point is, and however it works for you, the point is to go in and tear the fibers. That's it. It's simple. People are trying to turn it into something that's, it's not. You're just going in, you tear the fibers, you finish it, you get out of the gym, must recover, and go back in and train again. Simplify. You got to keep this simple. If you guys start thinking, I got to do my threes, if you're getting ready for a powerlifting meet, during a workout, we'll do singles and we'll do 50s, all in the same workout. It's all good. Depends on where you are on the routine. It depends on if you're getting ready for something. It depends on if you're off season. But everything's good. But the same process, always think about going in the gym. You have a game plan. You're gonna do 15 sets for chest. That's your game plan. But you go in and you got two things that's gonna happen. You're gonna feel great walking in. Again, you got your fat burners, your espresso, and whatever else you can just get stimmed out of your mind. You go in and you find yourself being weak, even though you feel great. What should you do at that point? Moderate. Don't get an ego on this stuff. Don't think, I'm tired because of work, I'm tired of this. Your body's tired. Done. It could be mentally tired, but it's done. And there's a point of where you just want to push it enough. There's a huge difference between athletic training and aesthetic training. It's a huge difference. Aesthetic, you got to be smart. There's got to be a climb to it. Athletic training, you go in and just go bonkers. All right? You go, and some of the best examples is this. Nobody's going to train harder or longer than an MMA fighter. Nobody. Nobody in here does that. Nobody out trains an MMA fighter because they got to get up, they got to go boxing, they got to wrestle, they got to do jiu-jitsu, they got to spar. And during all this time, what's going on? Huh? Well, it's cardio, it's tearing down the muscles. You ever wrestle a guy, man, you're working things you never thought you had. Now, they're working harder than anybody else in the world. Why do they not look like Mr. Olympia? Training. Some of them eat great. There's so much training that goes along with it that the side effect is what it is. They have to be able to be cardiovascular ready. They have to train in so many different things. It is hard for the human body to recover. It's hard. I did an interview with Rampage Jackson a couple weeks ago, and I go, "Hey, did you ever overtrain?" He goes, "Maybe once or twice." And I'm like, "Kid, you overtrained your whole life. Every day you overtrain." And now we're working to get his metabolism working again, and get him going back again. Because he set up their bodies, which is great because they want to do this for a lifetime. That's awesome. But you got to refeed, and you got to take downtime, and that's when it's going to come back to aesthetics. You guys in here are trying to change your physique, yes? You want to look a certain way? You want to lose the tummy, build a little bit of muscle? This is all great. And again, it goes right back to the nutrition. It goes right back to the training. Slow starts, fast finish. Nobody should rush this, okay? When I work with people, what I do at first is I pull them off everything. is I'll get people to come into the Titan crew and they go, all right, man, I set up my nutrition, I'm at 2,800 calories, I started half an hour of cardio, and I fast and do cardio in the morning, and I'll stop. Take my program, cut it in half, keep all your meals in the morning throughout the day. I'm going to get back to what you were saying earlier, and stop cardio. You're trying to run. Your body's an incredible thing to where if you just move it a little bit more, a little, it changes. Okay? So people say you got to change your workout, right? You got to change it. I do believe in changing your nutrition every 2 to 4 weeks. Your body's going to adapt to whatever you're doing. And you're going to go either one way or another. You're going to go up or you're going to go down. Okay? Always be testing it. If you can keep on a schedule, if you can write it down, pen to paper is the greatest thing in the world. Pen to paper, put down your goals, look at it. How many times do you actually see your thought? Put down your goals so you can see it and go, okay, this, I'm getting ready this time. This is my goal, this is what I want to do. I want to get ready for this show, I want to be at this weight. Write that stuff down. I know it's in your mind, and it's not for anybody else except for yourself. Because you got to go back and look at that stuff. Same thing with the calories. Write it down. Hey, last month I was at this much. I went up a little bit, and I'm maintaining my body. Be proud of those moments. Because when you start up again, man, do you change. All right? Any questions? You guys got to have questions at this point now. All right, let me answer you this then. Real quick, hold on then. When your body wakes up, to kick it into gear, food is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. And it's not even a beautiful thing because that's what you should do. It's a beautiful thing because in 5 years, if you slipped up, if life happens, you lost your job, whatever it is, if you continue to eat properly, your body will function properly later on. Everybody's about now. Everybody's about now. Start thinking 3 months, 6 months, 5 years. Okay? Some stuff is slow, but I have met more people in the last 30 years come up to me and go, I lost 190 pounds. A guy today came up to me, a wife and her husband both came up, showed me before and after photos. Tremendous. He lost 190, she lost over 120. I said, how long did it take? It took 5 years. But they can maintain where they're at this point. And that's an extreme. I get that. That's an extreme. But it's all of us. All of us. Okay? Take your time, get into it, change it up. Feed yourself in the morning because that will get your metabolism working. Cardio is great. But plan out your cardio when you need to, when the diet is proper. Do not get your body addicted to it where you need it every single day. Okay? Back it down, restart it. And you're right, it gets the metabolism going. But even more so, it keeps your calories higher. The one thing I don't want everybody doing is keep running away from calories, running away from calories. If you keep running away from it, you're gonna blow up. Here's an example of somebody, because of how they grew up, was at such a high calorie intake and can maintain. And how we, where'd she go? The Romanian gangster Mona, how we planned our pregnancy and to put my theories to a test. There she is. Hi. What we did with her is you should train through pregnancy, is that correct? Well, they say you should train through therapy, pregnancy, therapy too, right? A little bit of both. So what we did is we tested a theory that I believed. She was an incubator. And I wasn't gonna just assume that she should take in 2,800 calories a day, that way the baby gets enough, but she doesn't put on too much weight and everything's safe. No, I pulled her off of training. A pregnant woman off of training, completely. And then I bumped her calories up. Right now is your off season, okay? And a lot of women here in society, you guys have common sense, you understand that a lot of times when you have kids, it takes a year or two to get it back. All right, At the end of the story, you're gonna be freaked out about how fast she was back into shape. So we took the calories up, and this is for all of us. We don't need to be pregnant for this, even though I was. What we want to do is you back it down. She didn't do any kind of workouts. We raised her calories. Carbohydrates, healthy fats, anything to make sure the child was getting all the nutrients, and if it spilled over and she put on weight, so be it. At least we knew that we could get her calories up to 3,700 calories a day for a woman. It's pretty good calories. As the pregnancy went, we allowed her after 3 months to train twice a week. You see where I'm going, guys? Twice a week. Patience. Now, I understand this. She was pregnant, so it's a real good reason to do this. But we all do this in a slight change or a percentage of what she's doing. We allowed her 2 days of training. Got a little further down the road, 6 months, we allowed her 3 days. Didn't cut the calories, didn't do anything. Okay? We finally got her up to 4 days of training, but it was only heavy lifting and small compound movements. No cardio, a large amount of calories. Now her body is used to those calories. Why? She's been doing it long enough. Your body adapts. It adapts to a certain weight, it adapts to things, it adapts to calorie intake. Now her body's utilizing those calories, even though it's in a ridiculous amount. Then, she has the baby. We reduced the calories. We let her train 6 days a week. Without any cardio. Without any cardio, 8 weeks later, she looked like this. That's a pregnant woman. That's a different level. We had to do video just because nobody would believe it. The point of that was that she let her body recover, do a good calorie intake, and then removed. Afterwards, done. Now what we're going to do is take it from where she's at now and get her ready for a show. Now we'll add in cardio. Now we'll do the 6 days a week. How fast will that body change now that she set it up for the last year to work over here? Almost like a power lifter. Her body adapts and changes instantly. That's a mid-40-year-old woman. You're not supposed to change like that at mid-40s. You're done. You're not supposed to change like that at 35. This is the concept of trying to pull back as much as you can, be smart enough, and then move forward. It is not about every week doing cardio. It is not about every week training as hard as you possibly can. Life doesn't work that way. You have only so much energy in a week. Put your weak body parts first. Okay? Lose the program. Whatever program you get, analyze it for what you're doing. I got no legs. I don't need big legs. Legs aren't legs. All right? Let me explain this again. If you have bad legs, legs aren't legs. Legs is longevity. Does that make sense to you, or you completely lose you right there? Nothing keeps your body, your bone structure, and everything together like leg day does. Okay? That keeps you healthy. That is what I've been able to do with athletes around the world, from MMA, UFC fighters, and make them healthy again, from football players that blow out their knees. How did I bring them back? First of all, you gotta slow them down. Try to. And then back to the compound movements, moving in the right position. Okay? Then over time, the body, here's a little science for you. Your body adapts to the pressure it is put under. Do you guys understand that? Whatever the pressure, poundage, that you put on your body day in and day out, your body actually adapts to it. It's called Wolff's Law, the breaking down of the bones and rebuilding. It's an incredible thing. It's science. It's not me making this up. That's just the way it is. Your body will adapt to it. And that's why you'll find some incredible people out there in powerlifting, women in their 60s, because we all know women lose the bone density much quicker than men. Okay? The two things you need to keep for longevity, muscularity and bone density. That's what's going to keep you healthy. That's what's going to keep you moving. That's what's going to get you better in the long run. I get that you want to be sliced, but keep the calories as high as you can, and then for a moment, bring them down, train 12 weeks, then bring them right back up. Okay? Is that questions? Examples? So his question is, he has a hard job, and some days he's really beat. The one thing I don't want you to do is self-coach yourself in a sense like, the new thing nowadays is Sunday's cheat day. Why? Oh, it's Sunday. I get a high day. Or it's a refeed day. Why? It's always a program. It's just as simple as this. You guys go to work, right? You're supposed to be there at 8 o'clock, leave at 5, whatever it is. You have a schedule. Why don't you have a schedule for your health? Why aren't you writing down, all right, this is what I need to do. I'm gonna go 12 weeks this way. I'm gonna make sure my body's healthy. I take in enough calories to recover. I'll get my work. And then another 12 weeks where you slice and dice. That's the funnest thing for me in my life. I have always been prepping in one way or another. And a schedule. I started at 8, 9 years old. I never missed a meal. It's hard to believe, isn't it? But if you grew up in our family that we were bred to do this, we never missed meals. It's scheduled. I eat like a baby. Every 2 to 3 hours, I have a meal. Haven't missed. It's one of those things that you remember because you know how you are and what you did. I was on stage at 13. I was doing shoots after that the rest of my life till this day. I had to be on. But a schedule, everybody says I'm motivated. I'm not motivated, I have passion for this. By getting up every morning, by training, by eating the way I get to do, I get to keep living the lifestyle. And it's so much, trust me, my life's so much easier than you guys. When you guys go, you train at 4 in the morning. I don't know how you go to work at 9 in the morning. I would rather wake up at 3 in the morning and train like an animal and do my life, and I knew that at a young age. But everything changes. And what I mean by that is this. When you start setting up goals, when you start thinking and then putting that process and your thoughts on paper in front of you, your goals change. It really does. It's a beautiful thing to do. So I want you guys to start taking notes. I want you guys to start writing down programs like you do your workout. I'm taking this 12 weeks to make sure my metabolism is working. I'm taking 12 weeks to make sure my metabolism is working. You know how you find that out? You start a diet. Macros, however you want to do it, you start a diet. And then you find out, because you don't want to go off of an app. I have an app. I tell them the first thing I say, get on a meal plan. The reason why I say that is because they got to get a schedule. I don't care what meal plan. I don't care if you eat 5,000, 1,000. Get on a schedule. And then from there, every 2 weeks, we'll know what's going on with your body. Here's the problem. The apps kind of tell you the calorie intake. Mine does the same thing. Most of you are not at that level because you've changed the diet. You play with it. You go back and forth. You take 3 days off. Then you diet 2 days. And then you go back to 1 day. So your body doesn't utilize carbohydrates and it blows back up. Get on a nutrition plan that you can stay with for 2 weeks. And the reason why I say 2 weeks is your body adapts in 10 days. So you're gonna feel, even if it's 1,000 calories or 2,000, you're gonna feel a little stuffed after a while, right? That's too many calories. No, that's too many calories right now. Your body, again, will adjust. And after 10 days, you're gonna wake up one morning and go, holy cow, I'm hungry. This is what I speak about when I say listen to your body. It's an amazing thing. Give it time and listen to it. So, going back to what you're doing about some days are so extreme, so hard, right? Work, when do you pull back and when do you go forward? This is how you do it. You set it up. What's the goal for you? Okay, functional strength with athletics. Aesthetics. Okay, it's a 12-week plan. Calorie intake right now is what? You don't know. You're just guessing. That's because you don't got a plan. Next time I see you, you're going to say it's 3,600 calories, and I could maintain, and I actually was growing regardless of the work I was doing at the office. Because now you can actually see what you're doing in the calorie intake regardless of how hard you work. Then the next thing you do is this. Mentally, because none of this is easy, mentally you're going to say you're going to take 12 weeks to get the calories correct. The next 12 weeks you're going to start slicing up for the first time, and you're going to get in great shape. And regardless of the hard days, you're in the plan. So everything I said, at a certain point, you're going to have to put the work in, and it's going to get hard, and you're going to be in a deficit. And on those hard days, the only difference is you go into the gym and you train it just enough to tear the fibers and then get back out. But you don't get to do a refeed that day. Why? Because you're on a plan. You don't get this free stuff that social media gives you nowadays. You know, it's not Sunday. High days, cheat days. Anybody knows why these were created? Now you can't do this. You right there. Okay. Here's the biggest thing. When you are doing a high day or a cheat day or anything like that, that is because of your nervous system or because your metabolism has stopped. It's not because you were good. It has nothing to do because I stayed on my diet all week. You're supposed to stay on your diet all week. It's like kids today get rewards to going to school. You're supposed to go to school. What are you getting a reward for? I don't even get that, man. So the point is, have the high day when you're so beat down and you're staying on the plan and you feel like the nervous system has taxed you and you got nothing. That's when you implement the high day. You don't do it because it's Sunday or because you did legs. There's days I'll go in and I'll train legs, and I have an issue. I love training, and I'll go off on those legs. And some days I'll have a bad day, but it's leg day, so you should have a high day, and I don't. Then those other days you go in, and I'll train shoulders, easy body part, right? And we'll crush it, absolutely crush it. So it's again, it doesn't go back to the you should have a high day or a cheat day on leg day or back day. It's on the days you crush it. And this is going to be, again, up to you guys to understand. This is good. I did great. Keep the calories, be on the plan. Biggest thing here is if you can do this correctly and be patient, which I understand, saying is one thing, doing is another. I won the universe at 237 pounds, I'm 247 pounds, and I put on 0.7 muscle the last 20 years. That's it. 0.7 a year. It's not much. But over the 20 years, it's 20 pounds, and I get to keep it. There's the biggest difference. Treat your body right, you get to keep this. You don't treat it right, you try to rush this stuff, you get injured, you get fatigued, you get disappointed. Use the process of all of these things, calorie intake, cardio, secondary, all of these things, use it, mentally use it, and get your body to trust you, and you trust it, and believe in your body. I know it's a different approach, but I'm telling you guys, man, your body's an amazing thing, and the changes I get in the Titan crew is beautiful when you can just slow down a little bit. That's it, guys. I gotta get out of here. I gotta let CT come up here, do his things. Any questions, last minute questions? Any pose downs with me? Yes, there never show. If I ever had, anybody relay that to me? Lactic acid builds soreness. You mean you have tendonitis or something? Arthritis? You're buying pizza for us after this? What? Your body is another point I want you guys to really understand is that your body will recover from owies. Mentally, they're owies. You're gonna have to come back from those owies. All right? Food helps. I gotta say this one last thing, and then I'll get out of here, I promise you. Do you eat the same calories on your day off, or do you drop them because you're not training? Why the same? Even more so. She said because the body's used to it. Yes, the body's used to it. It's the day you're recovering. You're taking the day off so you can recover. Why would you take away the nutrients? It's the only thing that's going to help you recover. So the big thing here is social media is a great thing. You get to meet people, you get to understand things, but understand the long picture with this, not the short-term goal. Biggest Loser went off the air because of, did you guys know this? Anybody? They got sued. Nobody can maintain it. Nobody can maintain it. That's one of the biggest problems. You put a guy in a house, you start him from food, you have him work out for 8 hours a day, trust me, he's getting in shape. Now send him back in the real world, paying bills, going to the job, taking care of the kids. A little hour happens. How can you maintain that? Can't maintain that. It blows back up. Your body functions differently. Don't change your original setup with your body. Okay? That is it, guys. You guys rocked.